So work-life balance, I think, is something that's super important for developers to maintain like a healthy work and life environment. And here comes my cat. Let's push him to the side. Come on, this is Sully. Yeah, he likes the camera. Being able to create something from the comfort of your own home is wild and exciting and stressful in some situations, but being a developer is very rewarding in what you build and what you choose to build. I'd say the least favorite part of being a developer is it's kind of a two-edged sword where we really get paid to struggle. It's a lot of, you hear it a lot, hitting your head against the wall or trying it for an hour and nothing's working. But the great part about being a developer on the other end of the sword is it's okay to fail because you're learning at the same time, and there's a lot of failing that happens. Like imagine if you were a doctor. You only get one shot in an operation. You don't get 5 tries and have your console error out like we do as engineers and developers. So it's great in that aspect, but also takes some time and a lot of failure, and you learn a lot from failure. I would say it depends. It depends on your work style, the company you want to work for. Obviously, right now in the world, where a lot of us are remote, many people enjoy it. I particularly work for a remote company, and I think the reason why I like remote is because the company knows how to be remote. It takes a long time to adjust to being a remote engineer. It probably took me about 6 months, but being remote allows for work-life balance to be great. You set your own schedule. There's a lot of more open space to kind of have your life work with your work life. Yeah, so open source and personal projects are really important. It's a great opportunity to work on a skill set outside of your everyday work. Finding time to do it can be a little difficult. I found it a little more difficult when you're starting out at a new job or you're starting off as a developer. Sometimes the best things that get me into open source projects or side projects is to find something that you're really passionate about and that like makes you want to log in for 20 minutes after work and create a pull request for an open source project, or you really want to make your wedding website. So something that's really passionate to you will make you want to do these side projects. And I think setting aside time is great, but also if you're overwhelmed or just have a lot going on at work, it's okay to not do that. I mean, it's okay to have a 9-to-5 and be a developer. It's always a little intimidating to see so many people working on so many open source projects or awesome side projects. But first and foremost, I think your work that you're doing for salary should come first, and then the side projects, if you have time to set aside time, that's fantastic, and to definitely pick something that you're passionate about. Walking down 21st Street in New York City and calling my mom to tell her that I got a software engineer position at Major League Soccer. At that time I was 2 months out of my boot camp, and I just could not believe I did it. I had an engineering title at a great company, a great team that was going to teach me things, and I just felt so proud and accomplished to be able to finish the boot camp find a job within 2 months with doubling my salary from what I was doing before. It was just the proudest. I still get super excited to tell that story. So proudest I've been about my career so far. I think my story of why I wanted to be a developer started quite a long time ago, but took kind of a little bit of a slow goal to getting there. I used to work for a small startup in San Francisco right after I graduated, and they let me, I was doing customer service and things like that, and they let me destroy users in the terminal when they accidentally created 2 accounts, which I thought was so cool, to just like destroy and poof, they're gone. But I always thought you had to have a computer science degree to be an engineer, so just put it on the back burner. Ended up getting my master's in communication, moved to New York, I worked for another startup doing paid social media campaigns, which was fine. It's like what I went to school for. But it was a very numb-minding job, and so I wanted to find a way to change my career to keep growing at all times. And one way that I found doing that was to take just random classes, and I started taking some HTML, CSS courses, some JavaScript ones, just to like stimulate myself and learn more about it, and then learned a lot about boot camps. So software engineering boot camps, and decided to just kind of jump off the cliff and do a boot camp. I had nothing really holding me back from doing it. I took out a loan, and kind of the rest is history, and I've never been sad about the choice that I made or how it ended up. It really changed my life for so many great reasons. But yeah, it kind of took me a couple years to figure out and actually commit to doing it, but I wouldn't regret it for anything.
Thousands of developers find jobs across Europe using Honeypot. If you're up for a new challenge in one of these European cities, sign up at honeypot.io. If you want to see more tech documentaries, then subscribe so you don't miss the next one.